What's up, folks? Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. Let me just, there we go. I'm with Ross Givens once again. You saw him in the last video, stock trader, investment broker. I mean, this guy's doing it all, man. Ross, thank you for joining me. It's a bloodbath on Wall Street right now. It's absolutely insane with Trump's tariffs. Now, the last video we did was epic. I mean, people loved it. You follow the insider politicians on what they're trading. You got a lot of knowledge in this subject, man. What the hell are we going to do? People are panicking right now. Nobody really knows what to expect with these tariffs.
And that's why the market is falling off, right? What the stock market does not like is uncertainty. You know, it did well in the 80s with 15% interest rates. It did well in the 2020s with 3% interest rates. They just need to know something. And so when the president, opens up these sweeping tariffs across the entire globe, it's freaking a lot of people out. And so they're trying to figure out what to do with it. So, listen, when this thing bottoms
before done, this is uncharted waters.
Well, I think what people are trying to figure out now is, is he serious? Like, does he really think these tariffs are going to stay on 6 months, a year, 2 years? Or is it what most people expect, which is this is him using a negotiating tool? Oh, you don't want to come meet with me? Well, now there's a 30% tariff on everything that comes out into this country. Now you want to meet with me, right? That's kind of his go-to style as a negotiator. And so the thought being, listen, these aren't going to last long. He's going to make deals, these world leaders. They're going to come to some sort of agreement and bring these things down. And when you do that, the stock market's going to come right back up. But what this is really creating for people, it's a great time we're talking after what's happened this week, is there's some huge deals out there right now. The stock's going to go to 50, and it was at 30, and now it's at 10. Well, it's still going to 50, but it's not going to be a double. It's going to be a quadruple. And so if you could identify those stocks, the ones that have the most potential, and get them when they're down here and cheap and low, you can make 2, 3, 4 times as much money. And the best way we've found to do that is tracking these insiders, both the politicians like Pelosi and others, who, of course, have access to big information. They knew what these tariffs were going to be. As soon as they report all their trades in a couple of weeks, you watch. I bet tons of them dumped everything before that tariff announcement. But you can also follow.
You're tracking them right now.
Yeah, we are. Now, the only thing about the politicians is they get like 45 days to report their trades. So, whatever they're selling or buying, early April, they have until like mid-May to report it. But there's another group that doesn't, and that's the people who work at these companies. So the top brass, CEOs, CFOs, right, folks like Elon Musk and others, when they buy and sell their stock, that's public information to us inside of 48 hours. And so what situations like this present is an opportunity where these stocks come way down, everybody's panicking, they're selling, makes them really, really cheap, but you've got these very intelligent Fortune 500 CEOs and CFOs, been doing this for 40 years with MBAs, and they have inside information about their company. They know exactly what these tariffs are not going to do, and so you can follow their trades.
So how do you do this? You have their names. You're watching all their activity. I picture this stuff just coming down a computer, and you're going, bingo, bingo, bingo. Call your people. Okay, sell now.
Kinda. Yeah, it's actually simpler than that. Well, we actually do training events to show people how to do this because it's really not as hard as it sounds. So we actually have one coming up this Thursday. That's going to be April the 10th at 3:00 Eastern. So anybody interested in this stuff, click the link below, register. It is a free event. It is online. It'll last about an hour. And I show you everything, how to find these trades, what to look for, what to look out for. We've recommended stocks that have gone up almost 2,000% following this stuff.
Insane.
And the secret is, well, we're just following people who know stuff, right? We're following stocks fall, investors panic because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what the earnings are going to be. They don't know if they've reached a deal on this tariff or if this product's selling or, whatever it's going to be. They don't know the delivery numbers of Tesla vehicles, but the people running that company do.
So you're following like the main, can you say who you're following? I know Pelosi.
Yeah. Yeah. So with the corporate people, it's every C-level executive. So every public company CEO, every chief financial officer, every member of a board of directors, every vice president, you can see all their trades. Anytime they buy their company stock with their own money in their own account, you can see it for free the very next day. And so what we look for is just the stupid, obvious stuff. It's like, okay, here's this little tiny pharmaceutical company at 40 cents a share. Is it gonna survive or not? And then suddenly 11 people of the company put a couple $100,000 a piece into it, all within 3 days of each other, right before these big drug trial results are scheduled to be announced. And it's like, sounds like things are going okay. So we look
Right.
for stuff like that they would know. So out of 7,000 publicly traded stocks, we normally find four, five, six, seven of these a month that are just so obvious, no brainers. And so that's what we show people how to do, how to
How many
find this
people are you
information.
tracking? How many companies? How many CEOs are you tracking?
Well, all of them. I mean, in total, we've got some pretty sophisticated software that tracks this stuff. So you take 7,000 companies, each one of them has 5 or 10, 20 executives and board members. So you're talking about
So you have the software that people would want that, and so they call you and say, "Hey, I mean, you could show them how to do this, but you have a
yeah.
software that what
Yeah, but we show them
sends
how
off
to do
alarm
it.
bells."
So yeah, so what we're doing is going, all right, let's just scan. And it's really simple. Let's just scan for how many stocks did insiders buy this week. Okay, now you're down from 7,000 to 700. Okay, how many of them saw more than two people buying? All right, now you're down to 50 or 60. How many of those buys were above this much money? How many of them are being bought for the first time in 5, 6 years? How many of them are being bought by people who the last few times they bought the stock went way up, right? So you're just slowly stacking the odds in your favor. And you can really quickly filter this down to the ones that are real obvious. And then you got 5 or 10 good candidates. And then we put our team to work and do some pretty deep research and try to uncover these. And listen, there's no guarantees. This is a stock market, after all. But we've beat Warren Buffett every year since 2017.
Oh my God!
We're up
So
1,900% since then.
wow.
So we know this works.
So what do you have to say to the people that may be watching this that are like, dude, I'm not messing with that with the economy the way it is right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. They're kind of panicking. They don't know what to do, especially when headlines are coming out like that say like
Yeah.
bloodbath on Wall Street. Like people are like, screw that. I'm not touching it.
No, believe me, I understand. The first thing I'd say is, look, I get it. I totally understand where you're coming from. You work hard for your money, you get taxed to hell on it, and then you want to risk it in the stock market, right? What people need to understand is this: the stock market, the economy does not lead the stock market. The stock market leads the economy. And this is something new people have a hard time with. The stock market's whole deal is designed as a discounting mechanism. Everybody on Wall Street, here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out how much money this company is going to make, how much profits this quarter, next year. What's the interest rates going to be? What's the GDP and all this stuff? And what they think that stock is worth today is based on all those future projections. So that's why they'll say things like that's priced into the market, right? Stocks are down. They're down big the last 6, 8 weeks, right? There hasn't been a single tariff imposed. Not one company's been penalized $1. Then why are they down 10%? Because they're pricing in what they think's coming based on that, right? So when you get the market dip like this, you get a 2009 crisis, you get a 2020 dip from COVID or a 2022 bear market. By the time the economy's good again, everything's fine. The tariffs are out of the way. We feel good. Rates. The stock market is way, way up by then. Those stocks you should have bought have already doubled and tripled. So this is actually, as hard as it is, this is when the money is made. It's identifying these stocks. Listen, Tesla's going to be the same price 10 years from now, whether you buy it today, yesterday, or it's going the same place. So the cheaper I can buy that, the more money I'm going to make, right? And so all we are doing is going, all right, this does priced in. They've discounted it this way. Oftentimes, Wall Street investors will panic. They sell everything. Stocks get way cheaper than they should be. And meanwhile, you got the CEO sitting over there going, they think we're going to miss, but they have all this information you haven't seen. They have the sales. They know what the earnings are going to be. They're in contact with the White House. They know exactly when that tariff's going to fall off and the effects it's going to have. So,
well, what if the tariffs
unique...
don't fall off? I mean, let's just say, this is supposedly, we're going into an ERS, away from the IRS. He's taking us to an external revenue service. He wants to take us away from the Federal Reserve. There's all the chatter in the background. So this is a major, and then he posts, I think today it was, the operation is over. Now the patient is in healing, talking about like it was a surgical procedure. So
yes,
this is, but I would imagine in 6 months to a year, we're going to start seeing jobs come back, companies coming back here, building the automobiles. What are your thoughts on the long run, on the long game of this?
Well, I think you summed it up very well. Long term is going to be hugely beneficial for the U.S. economy and the American worker. He's bringing production here, bringing manufacturing here, bringing trillions in investment. All that is great. Eventually, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. In the short term, people are panicking. They don't know what's going on. That's why the stock market is crashing. So he's right. We're in a recovery. The patient is healing.
But this is the time to buy
and let it come there. Yes, but to your point, let's say these tariffs never fall off. Let's say, and I would love this, the IRS disappears, the income tax goes away, we're a full tariff. I'm happy to pay 40% more for goods if I get to keep all the dollars I make, right?
Right.
If that happens, okay, some stocks are still going to thrive off that. There are companies that build an American product, sell it to an American customer, who tariffs do not affect them whatsoever, not one penny. Every input from the mine to the customer is in America. But guess what? All those stocks sold off this week along with everything else because the market's just in panic mode. And that's what people do. I don't know. Dump it, dump it, dump it.
So is this going to last for like 6 months, dude? Like how long is this panic mode going to last? I mean, we've never been here before.
Well, we have. I mean, look, if you look long enough, we've been, in situations like this. I mean, this is very similar to COVID. We go, they never shut down the economy before. Never told people
right.
can't leave your houses.
Fair enough.
That was completely unprecedented, right?
Fair enough.
And the market sold off 3 times as deep as this one, and it did it in a month. That was even worse than this. It was different, you're right, but it's similar, like panic situation. And as soon as it bottomed, all this was priced in, a third of the stock market, a third of the value of American businesses has gone. It took off on a bull market for the ages. The 2020 and 2021, that's when we got the big GameStop run. We saw Bitcoin go to 60,000. We saw the stock market double in a couple of years. The whole market, tons of stocks, all the work from home stocks were up 6, 7, 800%. I mean, that was the easiest money making opportunity in the stock market since I've been alive. And it came right after such an event. And so listen, I know how easy it is to look at this and go, oh, it's panic time, get out. I don't want to be in front of this, but this is the time where money is made.
Is it going to, what about crypto? Is it going to shift into crypto? I mean, is crypto going to just start exploding now?
Crypto is a tough one because crypto is typically a risk asset. And so when it really moves lock, stock with stocks, just in a more extreme way. If the stock market's going up, Bitcoin's way up. If the stock market's down, Bitcoin's down like 20% the last couple of months while the market's down 10. And a lot of that is because they thought Trump was going to do a national Bitcoin reserve, which he did. The problem is he didn't go buy the Bitcoin. He took all the Bitcoin the United States government has already confiscated and just threw it into a government fund.
Got you.
So they all thought they're going to go, oh, Trump and the federal government's going to go buy. And that didn't happen. So, but that's a perfect example of this because Bitcoin in 2024, as Trump is getting momentum, we're pretty sure he's going to win. He's taking a pro-crypto stance. He's mentioning Bitcoin from 50,000 to 100,000 on the hype, not after he did it, on the hype. And as soon as he officially announced that Bitcoin strategic reserve, it's been going down. And I know that doesn't make sense, but again, people are pricing it in. It's all about the assumption of what's coming forward. And so what you want to do is get into the market at the moment of extreme panic.
So this is like if someone wants to really play it safe, they're going to go to silver and gold, right?
Yes.
And then if they want to gamble, you're going to play it in the stock market and in crypto, right? Am I right about that?
Yes, to an extent. And there's levels of gamblers. Okay, there's kind of gambling with indexes. There's degens that go from bankrupt to Lamborghini trading penny stocks and
I knew a lot of those guys in Vegas, man. They'd be in a
there's boring stocks, there's exciting ones, but yes, absolutely. I mean, no risk, no reward. The money's made there. But look, the stocks we're buying, all right, we've done dozens of stocks that have doubled, tripled, quadrupled on this stuff. We've never risked more than 15 to 20% on one of these stocks. So we're not taking big risks.
It's almost like what you're doing, following the whales, right? You're following the whales and you're figuring out who's selling what they're doing, following the politicians. It's almost like card counting in Vegas. You've got kind of like, what you're doing here. It's kind of like.
It's a big edge.
Yeah, it's a huge edge.
It's like following whales that also have information.
Right.
It's like I'm trying to think of another good example.
And who wouldn't do it? I
Well,
mean, who
it's
would?
just it's a huge advantage available to us. And look, the stock market is hard. You got Wall Street pros out there with computers hardwired to the NASDAQ stock exchange. So their buy goes in a quarter second faster than yours, hooked to a
Wow.
supercomputer. You're competing against, hedge funds on Wall Street that spend $100 million a year on research and pay for satellite images above Walmart parking lots to try to track the sales. I mean, it's a tough ball game. The average investor has no chance of beating the general index. But if you're the CEO of a company, if you're the chief medical officer, if you're on the board of directors, you have access to very valuable, very private information about your company only, not them all, but just your company. And so if that information is so good, seems so valuable that you are so damn sure the stock is going to go up the next 1 to 6 months, that you go home to your wife or husband, say, honey, I want to take $1.2 million out of our regions account. I'm going to put it all into my company stock in one day. You better have a good argument for why you're going to do that. They're not
Absolutely.
just rolling the dice, right? These are not kids in their mom's basement YOLO and their bar mitzvah money. I mean, these are 60-year-old Fortune
Calculated
500
risks, man.
executives.
Calculated risks.
That's it. And so we've done very well with it. And again, I encourage people, look, just come see this stuff. Everyone who registers, even if you can't come on Thursday, we're going to send you our most recent trade for free. So you're going to get the full report, the stock, the ticker, where they're buying, where things going to go. You can see the information available to you. But for the everyday investor or person who's just interested, maybe in getting into some stock trading, buying a couple stocks a month from a Robinhood account or a Fidelity account or something anybody can do with $500. Join us on Thursday. This Thursday, April 10th, 3 o'clock Eastern time. It is a free event. There is no strings attached. Come, let me show you what we do. If nothing else, I can guarantee your eyes will be opened and you will not look at the stock market the same
How do
again.
they join? They just click the link and they can go on. It's like Zoom or what?
Yeah, it's like Zoom. It's a software called GoToWebinar. So it's like it's a higher capacity Zoom. It'll hold like 1,000 people. And yeah, just put your name and email in there. We'll shoot you the link. And if you put your cell number in, we'll text you a reminder like 15 minutes before we get started. And yeah, just click the
And then
link,
right
log
after that,
in.
they can
You'll
start
see.
buying and selling, doing whatever they got to do right then and there.
Yeah, I'll show you everything. There's nothing to it. Commissions at these brokerage companies are $0 today. Costs nothing to open up a stock account. I'm always blown away by how many people have just never messed with it. But I
Okay,
get it.
so
It can be intimidating, right?
well, let me ask you this because my
It's really
audience,
simple.
I have my demographic. There's a lot of older people that watch these programs and stuff, and they usually like to talk to somebody, right? They're not really into the
Yeah,
new technology and stuff like that. So, is there somebody they can talk to, some
sure.
kind of customer like service that, hey, I don't know what
Oh yeah, no,
they want to get
we've
on the
got
phone and
15.
be able to say,
Yeah,
hey, man, I want to talk to a live person. Help me walk me
no, no,
through.
no. Yeah, no, we have 15 full-time employees in our Orlando office, a few more that are part-time. We have 5 full-time dedicated reps just for our clients that have nothing to do all day, but they're there at your disposal. So for our members who do this stuff with us, I need to talk. I don't understand the stock. Can you help me place this trade? We have all that available to them.
So
They
they
can
could
use
talk to a
any.
live person,
Oh
customer
yeah.
service. Okay,
No,
cool.
we don't do the call centers. We don't do the AI receptionists. No, it's a direct line to our office. Yeah, you talk to our guys. And you can use any broker you want. If you've got an account at Fidelity or Schwab or E-Trade or Merrill, sky's the limit. We're not touching any of that.
You're
We
you're
just
just
want to show
tracking
you
the
how to do
whales,
this
man. That's
stuff.
what you're doing. You're just tracking the insider traders.
I'm trying to level the playing field. I'm trying
You
to help
are.
the everyday investor. And look, what these guys do, it's not moral, right? It's not illegal, and I'll show you why. It's not moral. But they're not going to stop doing it, right? And so the least we can do is take the information our politicians or these fat cat executives have and use it to our advantage.
100%.
Nancy, you want
People
to
got
make
to eat,
300
man.
million? Fine. You're
People
going to
want to
tip me
live
off when
good.
I want to know when you're buying.
Right. And I agree with that. You want to live good. I mean, if you can get the upper hand somehow, why not? It's survival of the fittest, man. That's the way it is.
That's it.
So I get it, Ross. Got Ross, man, Ross Givens, folks. Wow. So I appreciate you. This Thursday, April 10th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Hit
That's
the
it.
link below, get started. That's it. That's as easy as that.
Easy as that. Doesn't cost you a dime.
Ross, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you, folks. Hit the link down below. Thanks, Ross.
Absolutely.